Hello, my fellow coders. Welcome back to Think and Code. And today we are learning about Python tuples, when to use it, and why do we use them. Starting with what are tuples? A tuple is a collection of items that is ordered, immutable, and allows duplicate values. Now, you could say a list is the same thing as a tuple. It is a collection of items. But a list are mutable, slower, and has changeable data. What I mean by this is if you create a list as my list, and if you do 1, 2, and 3, and then you print my list, and let's modify the data of 2, index 2, as 3 and then print my list, then as you can see, it will change the data after the list is created. But when we work with tuples, what happens is let's create a my tuple equals to and then 1, 2, and 3 and then print my tuples. And then we are going to do is my tuple 2, then change it to 4. What we are going to get is an error. That is, tuple object does not support item assignment. As you can see, it is not changeable, it's immutable, and it is faster than list and has a fixed data. It does not change. So that is why we use tuples instead of list in most cases when we need unchangeable data. Let's see how we can create a tuple. As you just saw, you can create a tuple using round brackets, and everything inside here would be considered a tuple. This 1, 2, and 3 is items. They are items that are stored inside a tuple. So now that is how you create a tuple. Let's say you can also create a tuple without parentheses. That would be data equals to zone, age becomes 23, and location becomes New York. So if we look at this is a tuple too, but this is what we call packing. This is a packing tuple. Now what we can do with this is name, comma, age, comma, address, and we'll pass data here. Now if you print name, print age, and print address, as you can see, we got each of them from here. John is 23, address New York. This is what we call unpacking. This is why we use tuples in functions, because it helps us pack and unpack. It helps us return a value in a packed tuple, and then we can unpack it in the program later on. So now let's try to access tuple elements. Let's say numbers equals to 10, 20, and 30. And let's try to access print number. We want to print the first, that's why it's index 0. This is the index. I think I've talked about index a lot in previous videos, and I don't need to do it this time as well. If you don't understand what index are, you can go check out the videos on list or strings and you will find out what indexes are. So print, and we want to print the last element as well. Let's do that. As you can see, we got what we needed. We got the items, tuples 10 and 30. So when do we use tuples is when we want data not to change, when we want to represent a fixed data structure, and when we are returning multiple values from a function. Let's get an example. If we say def get user, and then we're going to do name equals to Adam, is equals to 20, and address equals to Germany. So, and we return name, age, and address like we did. This is a tuple now. We returned a tuple. We are going to do the same thing as we did when we were unpacking. So name, age, and address, get user, print name, age, and address. If we print this, as you can see, we got the result divided into 3 different variables again. This is when you use tuple as well. This is a tuple without parentheses, called packing. And we have only two methods when it comes to tuple. Let's say we have numbers, and that is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And let's get another one with 2 because we can store duplicate values. So let's get started. One is print numbers dot count. So what we want to count is how many 2 are there in the tuple. Let's say 2, and then another is print numbers dot index. So for index, what we are going to do is we are going to do 4. So this should return us 2 and this should return us 4. So let's print it. As you can see, 2 and 4. If we change the value to 4, this should return us 1. And if we change the value to 3, this should return us 2. Let's see. 1 and 3. 2, 0, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, it returned us 3. That is the correct answer. Now, as you can see, this is how we use tuples. That is it for today, and in the next video we'll be discussing about dictionaries. Stay tuned for it, and if you haven't accessed yet, access the playlist. It's in the screen right here. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do subscribe. It's going to help me out a lot. Practice some practice questions. I've given you the notes for today. So happy coding and keep coding.